This is study number 15 from Fernando Sor's Op.60. Follow the lesson for free as always, but if you're interested, I do have an edition of all 25 etudes or studies in Fernando Sor's Op.60, and there's a link for that in the description. So number 15 is right in the middle of the collection, and the collection kind of ranges from easier works to later intermediate works, and so this one sits around the middle in the grade 4 or 5 level, which the majority of the studies do. So number 14 was in E minor and really kind of slower and quite a mood, and then this one is in E major and it's allegro and it's filled with a little bit more of a bouncy energy. I would probably still place this piece around the grade 4 level, despite it introducing some new things to work on and some little challenges. Luckily, it's quite small, so these challenges are fairly manageable. The left-hand requirements are pretty easy. There's nothing complicated in the left hand. It's mostly a question of navigating the right hand, with a little bit of left-hand work in the intersection. But let's just dive right into this piece. I'll just do a walkthrough and talk about the concepts as we go. It's less melodic than some of them. It's really based on your performance of the chords and the harmonies, with a little bit of melodic material in the middle. Just so you know, there's some, in the original publication, there are some what I consider copy errors. So in bar 7, on the very last beat, it's an A in the original, but I'm pretty sure it should be a B, just like in the parallel bar in 23. So I think those two bars should be the same, so I think what I've written with the B at the end is correct. I considered that just to be a copy error in the original. And same thing on bar 23 at the end. It's unfortunate that he made mistakes or differences in the two parallel or similar bars, right? But in bar 23, the F sharp is an E in the original, but like, it's not an E, it should be an F sharp. If you're comparing this to the original, just keep those comments in mind. I've listed it on the score, just so you know what I've changed there, but I'm 100% sure that what I've written is the intention. So it says allegro, so that can mean lots of different things depending on your level. If you're finding this particularly tricky to play fast, just go slow, of course. You have to learn it slowly and play it well, and then you can raise your tempo up to wherever you need it to go. It starts off pretty simply though, so you know, it's in 6/8 time, and that's the feel there. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Really, I just feel it in 2, right? Thump, 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 thump. Strong, weak, strong, weak. I switched to third finger on the E there just because it's nice to be set up for the next bar where you have to concentrate a little bit more. So bar 5, the right hand fingering, there's lots of choices that you could do. What I'm doing is sweeping the thumb, and that's a skill that you're going to want to know eventually. Whether you do it in this particular study might depend on your level. I'll show you an alternative fingering. But I think it's a skill that most guitarists should learn at this level. So I'll show it to you today, and then you can start working on it. It might take you a little while to work through it. So what I'm doing is a very light rest stroke with the thumb. So thumb, 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 I am a. Thumb, so rest, rest, free stroke. Actually, sometimes I do a rest stroke on the 4th string, actually. In fact, every time. But it's so light that your thumb comes right off. What most of you will find if you're more at the beginner level or early intermediate is that it's hard to keep the rhythm consistent with the thumb, or something about your thumbnail shape isn't allowing you to glide over the strings. So this is something that you'll want to work out. But essentially a very light rest stroke, and you can see that when I do the rest stroke, I'm in place for the next string, so I can just play it right away. but it's not like a strum, right? It's not quite the same. It's a little bit more organized in terms of rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You want it to be a very, it's not like a rolled chord. It's a very even arpeggio. So rolled chords, you know, are kind of one physical motion. This is two, but it's just a little bit more organized in terms of the rhythm, right? And also like strong, weak, weak, medium, strong, weak, weak, in terms of the structure of the beat. You could play it differently. You could go P, I, M, I, M, A. You know, you could do just combinations of that, and that would work great. There would be no problem. So either fingering is excellent for this particular work. So whatever you come up with between those two, it's fine. Go for it. However, I think that sweeping your thumb like that is a very useful skill, and you will need to know it later on. So I would recommend that this is a great opportunity to work on that skill. So from bar 5, I'll just go slow. So I'm using that sweeped thumb for that whole passage. Bar 5 again. Then at bar 9, we have some melodic material here. His slur pattern might throw you off a little bit, so be careful of that. I use my thumb for all the F sharps on the 4th string, and then just alternate my fingers. Doing most of those with P, I, A, M. And then it's a repeat. So very much a practice in sustaining the voices, how you're going to deal with those 6-note arpeggios, and then a little bit of like active slur material in the middle. It says allegro, so to make an allegro feeling for most of the piece is fairly easy, but then that intersection can be a little bit quick, of course, so you'll just have to practice it carefully. It's only 4 bars long though, so you can just learn it really, really well, and that way you can raise the tempo up so it doesn't feel like it's a tempo that's dragging. You do kind of want a little bit of bounce because there's not much going on. It's mainly chords, so you want to kind of go through the material and make sure it feels like the piece is going somewhere. So next we'll be moving on to number 16, which is a little bit of a rise in the level and the length of the pieces. So it's a nice change. We're really going into the firmly intermediate and then soon late intermediate.